What will you tell yourself in 10 years? There are some questions that make us think very deep. The first thing I would tell myself is that all those problems that you're going through are very small. So if you take yourself out of the situation and look at it in the 10-year span, would this problem bother you? Would this affect you in the long term? Probably not. Most of things that we're experiencing, they seem big on an emotional scale at that very moment. But when you go down the lane and look back at it, those problems are so minuscule, they don't really matter much and they will not affect your life in the long term. Even the death in the family, loss of the loved one, may seem like a heart wrenching experience and that it will never, never get better. But the truth is, we have to accept it. So the second lesson is to accept situation that life brings. Whole life teaches us to accept. We can deny, we can get angry, but the faster we accept things, situations, how they are, the easier it'll be in the long term. Biggest lesson that I've learned in the past 10 years is that whether you like it or not, you have to accept certain things. To accept the plan B. Sheryl Sandberg, the former CFO, Chief Financial Officer of Facebook, wrote a book that's called Plan B. And this book was written after she lost her husband. Her husband unexpectedly died on a treadmill. After falling on a treadmill and hitting his head, he unexpectedly died in his 40s or 50s, at a very young age. And Sheryl Sandberg was left with two children at the peak of her career. But despite this loss, I admire her resilience. Out of the sorrow, out of the sadness in her life, she brought up this book that's called Plan B. And the core message in this book is that there is Plan A, the situation or the plot of your life that you'd really like it to happen. You would want your life to be like that. However, in her situation, not everything happens the way you like or you wish. And in those cases, when things do not work out like you want them to work out, those are the situations that's called Plan B, and we kind of have to accept them. And the faster we learn that we cannot change certain things, the easier it'll get. You will lose less nerves along the way. You will have better experience. Third lesson I would tell myself 10 years ago is to be yourself. I know this sounds cliche. Everybody keeps saying, be yourself, be yourself. And then you may ask, if I don't like myself, why should I be myself? Nobody would like myself the way I am. Truth is, when we try to be liked by others, we start being liked less by ourselves. Down the road, when those people find out not the real you, they will be hating you as well. Goal I would tell myself to follow or to strive for is to be liked by yourself, nobody else. Because when you like yourself, you start not counting on others, and your spirit inside of you starts growing. And when we try to be liked by others, we have to push ourselves down, not show the real us. And among 7 billion people, there will be always people that like the real you. Just because the people that you like do not like you back, whether professionally, personally, romantically, doesn't matter. It does not mean that there are other people that may find you likable the way you are. So the major goal should be to unpack ourselves just the way we are. Every time you wonder about what your purpose is, look in the mirror and tell yourself that your purpose is to be you. These soul searching exercises, purpose finding, mission finding questions, these oftentimes come from not feeling complete inside. We think that we have to deserve our place on this earth. We think that we have to work towards the certain mission that we came to this earth for, and we have to fulfill it, otherwise our life is not fulfilled. But oftentimes purpose and mission comes out during the process. Very rarely you can find out what your purpose is from the start when you're born. There are certain people who come to this earth knowing what they like, passionate about their work, but not always. The majority of us, including me, we come to this world with little missions, with small passions. There's no one field that we're really, really interested in and we are ready to dedicate our life to. But there are many, or two, three, or even more sometimes, things that we may be interested in. And our whole purpose or mission is constructed from those little things. How do we find this is through looking into this mirror, metaphorically stating, and asking yourself, what do you like? What do you like to do? This came to me much, much later in the past year when I started doing things that I like. I realized even now, what I do is I do many things because I want to help others, because I want to serve others. And many times it's not about me, but it's about bringing help or bringing abundance to other people. And by that, I'm actually putting myself last order in the lane. When you're being yourself, you are bringing benefit not only to you but to everyone, because our goal in this life is to be ourselves. What does it mean? It means pursuing things that you love, pursuing things that you enjoy, because you are the best at it. You are the best at those things that you love. I've been realizing that all my life I've been selfless. The society teaches us to serve other people, to serve the systems, to serve the country, to serve the community. And at what cost? Oftentimes it's the cost of our soul. We try to bring benefit, especially girlies who are selfless, who are brought up like that, millennials like myself. Oftentimes what I see are girls are taught to be selfless and to serve others. When we think about others or constantly, we forget automatically about ourselves, and our soul starts shrinking, shrinking, and shrinking. It becomes smaller until the time when you realize you are not happy in this life. You don't want to wake up the next morning because many things has been a lie in your life. Ask yourself how many of your activities are driven by other people, not by yourself. And if you're a selfless girly like me, you may be in the same position. Make a list of those activities that you're doing for others, and make a list of those activities that you think you're doing for yourself, and think deeper about them. And probably you will find a little part of it that you're doing this for other people. Fourth thing I would tell myself is to eliminate toxic people from your life. If you truly think of it, in your early 20s, because of different reasons such as craving for approval, for recognition, or for craving for love, we tend to give a lot of slack to different toxic people in our lives. That friend of yours who is constantly late for 40, 50 minutes, but when you show up late, they make a scene about it, or those people who constantly ask for help or use you as an emotional pillow, who dump all the negativity, complaint, and toxicity on you every time you meet. But the moment you start telling about your problems, they say, "And me, and me, and me." Think about those people. Are they benefiting you or your life in any way? Yes, oftentimes we try to be good, we try to be help. This again stems from being selfless. You're trying to help other people at the expense of your soul. Who will think about your soul when you're thinking about other people? Who will think about you? Who's thinking about your soul? Who's thinking about your well-being? They may be listening at certain times just because they want to reciprocate. They want to show that they care about you. But is that so indeed? Ask yourself. Focus only on those people who really bring well-being to your life. How do you know that? You will feel that every time you meet that friend. When you walk out, do you feel drained? If you feel drained and you lost all your energy, probably they just dumped all the negativity on you, and it's not very sustainable, to be honest. But when we are in early 20s, we keep taking in those people just because we want to keep them around, we want to have them in our life, we want to other people think that we have friends, whatever the reason is. Or in my culture, for example, there is a word that's called yat. Yat means shame, but not like shame feeling about yourself. It's shame in front of other people. That's a big term, very commonly used in our society. It's like, I don't want to talk to that auntie, and then, oh no, it's yat. It's shameful. The underlying connotation that is that what the other auntie will think about you, what her family will think about you. That's the connotation. All the problems come from shame and from feeling insecure. The more we start trusting ourselves, the better it becomes. Fifth thing I would tell myself in 10 years is to take it easy. That project that you have deadline on, that public speaking event that you're going to deliver, think about them as not associated with your worth, but as things that are happening on their own. And there's so many examples of this in our life. Sometimes we work so hard on something, we pour our energy and time into something that we really, really want, and in the end, it doesn't work out. So, does it mean that all the activities that are happening in my life are really correlated with the amount of energy I put in? Not really. There are certain forces, or there are certain outside influence from you, whatever you can call God, universe, creator, but not everything in our hands. That's something I would tell myself, because in my 20s I used to think that, okay, if I work hard, this has to work, but not always. This leads to burnout, associating all your successes and achievements with your actions. Not necessarily your actions lead to positive results that you crave for. So sometimes we have to, again, let it go. Think about it as it's not something that's going to break me. When we really worry about certain outcome, we really think that our life is dependent on it. And I believe that the life on this earth is teaching us that nothing is permanent. Something can, however fast it came, that's how fast it can leave your life. We should not cling to anything in our life, whether it's our kids, whether it's our achievements, whether it's our degrees or diplomas or friendships or relationships. Nothing is permanent. The more we cling on to something, the more likely it will go away, because life is teaching us not to hold on to anything. We are temporary. We came alone to this earth, we will leave alone. We cannot take all those belongings, those abundances that we materialize on this earth. We cannot take those things with us. Therefore, the lesson is to take it easy. Let things go. Don't tie all your worth to the achievements that you get or to your actions. Do whatever you can, but do not think of yourself as failure if it doesn't work. Do your best and let it go. If things do not turn up the way you like or you planned, accept it as it's not this time, but maybe next time. Maybe it's not my road yet. Being so anxious and pressing, despite the fact that things are not working out, it leads to automatic burnout. So that's the thing I would tell myself in my early 20s. There are many things I would tell myself. For now, write in the comments, what do you think you will tell yourself in the next 10 years time?